this is Jerry Peak, and I'm showing you how to do rating on the Concept System software. If you've already logged in and you're at your home page and you've been invited to rate, under Next Steps you'll be invited to rate as long as rating is open. I'm going to click on Rating, and here what you'll see is a list of all the items and a rating scale. Now if it's a yes/no answer, you'll see yes and no, or 2 items. Here we have a 5-point scale. We're going to rate these items independently to show which ones are the most important implications to consider as this group moves forward to engage the community. So these are things we need to really consider as we go to work with community. And there are other considerations that you'll mark as not so important. The thing you want to remember is to just use all the ratings, because everybody puts something down that's important, even if it's not important to you. Somebody thinks they're important. So that's why we have not very important as the smallest item. If it wasn't important to anyone, it would never have been here. As you go through, the thing to remember is you can either show all of the statements or you can show only the unrated statements. And I like that because then it gets rid of the ones that I've already answered. I'll start with the first one, say make sure that business owners are included. I think that's extremely important because they're a part of our community. See how that item has now disappeared? If I show all statements, you'll see it here with its answer, okay? And it will say unrate if you'd like to change your answer. I'll do it again. So again, I'm going to show only the unrated statements. Engage youth as leaders in the process. I also think that's extremely important. Now what's happening is maybe I think everything's extremely important. So I should really try to think about, if everything's important, what's the very, very most important. So I say, well, here's one that says, when more people participate, we have the chance to get more helpers on community projects. And I think, well, that's important. But the truth is a lot of people aren't going to give an opinion, but they may not come out to help. So I'm giving that a 2. It's not the most critical reason. Again, I will show all statements so you can see it. So now I have a 5, a 5, and a 2. This, to me, is not the most important reason to get people's voices. You know, we want everybody's voice to be heard. And some people will rise up to help and others will not. And it may help, but it may not. So then you would just go through and do the rest of the items. I'm going to pause now, fill in some more items, and let you see what happens when they're all done. Okay, I'm back to finish up the rating for example. And I saved out 4 statements that don't really fit sort of the straight importance of things to consider, just so that we know how to deal with those. So here, these are things that I thought were sort of negative, meaning that these are reasons not to engage people, or reasons people think that we should just have a steering committee and not worry about others. One is that you could get a lot of distracting comments from people who are really invested in the community. If I was worried about that, I would rate it as extremely important. If I'm not worried about that, I'd say, well, it's not important if we get distracting comments because at least everybody will have had their say. So I'm giving that a 1. People will not participate for the long haul. It's like, well, that doesn't matter that much to me. I say, well, you know, that's a consideration, but the ones who want to will. So I'm giving that a middle, a 3. I don't think the teenagers in our community have the maturity they need for such activities. But I don't think that's a reason to exclude them. So that's not a very important issue to me. I'm going to give that a 1 because I think that shouldn't stop us. Some people won't take the process seriously. That's true. I'm going to give this a 2. It's something to think about, but it's not a reason to not do it. And so now every item has been in statements. Again, you can show them all and unrate and change any that you want to. It's good to look and make sure that you have some of all the different kinds of ratings. And then once you've rated them all, and when you show only unrated statements, you'll see that they're all done. You can save the rating information, and then you're done. If that's the last thing that you had to do, when you return to the project page by clicking the button, you'll see you have completed all tasks currently assigned to you. Thank you for your participation. And you can sign out of the Concept System software.